Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Schultz, and with me today, I couldn't be more excited, my good friend, Dr. Joe Chang. Okay, you said I couldn't do like the big introductions for you, Joe, but Joe is our chairman of the Scientific Advisory Board, and you've been at New Skin
25 years, at least.
At least.
Yeah.
And I worked with you 25 years
Indeed,
ago.
when we just came out from high school.
No, I was a professional when I started working with Joe. But before you started Pharmanex, you also worked in the pharmaceutical industry.
Indeed.
And before that, and how long were you in the pharmaceutical industry?
I reckon, if I look back, about close to 15 years.
About 15 years.
Yeah, before I left and sort of actually started one company, sold that, and then started Pharmanex.
Then started Pharmanex.
That's what happened.
And then we were lucky enough to combine Pharmanex into the New Skin family.
Correct, 1998.
In 1998,
Correct.
and work together with that. And before, we're just going to get a little bit of Joe, and then we're going to go straight into Prism and SCS. Before that, you said you were an instructor at Hopkins University?
I was on the faculty at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. Yep, that was a lot of fun teaching students and sort of doing research at Hopkins, and then I got recruited out to the drug industry.
And you got recruited.
Yeah.
So that actually answers a lot of personal questions that I think. So Joe is a unicorn when it comes to a scientist. And I'm going to tell you guys why I think that Joe is a unicorn with this. You're so smart, but you're able to explain it to where someone who is not a scientist can understand things. And that's got to go all the way back to when you were on faculty and teaching students, is that you can take a really hard topic and make it very digestible for the average mind. Yeah. And I have always loved that about you. But you can stand in a room of amazing PhD scientists and wow them with your intelligence as well. And I think that's a really unique skill that you possess. Yeah. And so that's one of the reasons I'm so excited to have you here, is because we're going to talk about some scientific things. Yep. And we're going to go back to your teaching days, and you're going to teach us. We're going all the way back, Joe. Yeah. And everyone, please feel free to put in the comments and questions as you have questions. We've gathered some questions for you already, Joe. Okay, great. Excited to have a live audience again on this webinar and with the Beneath the Label podcast. We have our scanner certified products here, and we'll talk about what that means on this podcast. And Joe, we're going to give some away. So if you're like, you know what, that was a great question. You tell me like, hey, if this person's in the US, we're going to send them a free product.
Oh my goodness. That's great.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have some fun. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about what the Prism is.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Kathy, there's
one
a
here.
Prism right here.
Yes.
You know, that's what it looks like. You haven't seen it, and I'm sure that all of you have seen it. Hopefully, very soon, isn't it? You're going to be able to use it, touch it, and use it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes. So we're excited because we will be getting this in the market. If people are coming to our live event, they can get it in and in October. But yes, and then even by next year, consumers can buy it. So I want to make sure that we really get all of this out. So we're super excited about the Prism device. Now, the Prism it's the first of its kind, but it has a long history. So give us a little bit of that history.
Absolutely. I think the history here in this instance, but with this particular device, is very critical for you to totally appreciate where we are today with Prism. Okay. If you recall, we obviously have a device that we call the BioPhotonic scanner. I believe we launched that back, oh my goodness, it's almost 20 years. It's 2003.
2003. Yeah.
Isn't it?
I think so.
When we first brought out the initial, the original scanner, we call it the S1. It was already not too bad. I mean, you got to remember, right? When we got this technology was in its infancy. Essentially, it took up a whole room to be able to measure. At that time, we called them the carotenoid antioxidants. And then we brought it down to this sort of toaster size thing. And it was successful. I mean, insofar as it was able to somewhat measure antioxidants. Then we brought out a couple of years later the S2, much smaller, quicker. And now finally we had the S3, which is the current device or version that's in use right now. So it's great. But remember, 20 years ago, all we knew at that point in time, the technology was measuring antioxidants. In fact, specifically these carotenoids.
Okay.
You know, they're named after carrots, actually. That's why they're called carotenoids, okay? That was what we can pick up. And we never sort of... we sort of had a hypothesis, but we never fully appreciated that it was going to mean something.
Okay.
As far as nutrition is concerned.
Do all antioxidants have a skin?
No.
Skin?
The technology that we use in the S3 is so specific only for carotenoids, antioxidants.
Okay. Now this is not, I think this is scientific, but if you feed a baby carrots and sweet potatoes, they have a visible.
Yes.
They turn orangish, right?
Orange, absolutely.
So we know that carotenoids.
You got it.
Can be measured and seen, right?
It can be measured in the skin.
In the skin.
More accurately.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yes. So we know that, but if you feed a baby too many blueberries, you don't see that same impact in the skin, right? Yeah. So that's why carotenoids are such an important one, is because we know it can be measured in the skin, but not all can be. Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But, however, this is another key observation, if you will. Right, which led us to a conclusion and to a broader claim. And that is the carotenoid is actually a sort of sits in the center of what we call the antioxidant network in the body.
Okay, tell me what that means.
It's not the only important antioxidant in the body.
Right.
The blueberries that you mentioned, they're equally important. They're good for health.
Right.
And so on. And there are a few, at least a few hundred others too, from other plants and fruits and so on. But essentially, the carotenoid looks as if that it's like a thread that sticks out from a fabric. And if it's not strong and robust, the whole fabric unravels.
Really?
Yes, that's what we mean by...
Okay, so it's a critical one.
Absolutely. But that's why over the years, we're beginning to understand and appreciate that is actually an overall biomarker of antioxidants.
So not only can it be measured in the skin,
correct,
but it is a biomarker. It's an essential biomarker that tells all of your antioxidant health.
Right, absolutely. It's
interesting. Okay,
keep that in mind because it's going to be
that's important.
Pretty critical historical fact that we have, or at least on the hypothesis.
Okay,
look upon it like cholesterol. When you think about it, why do we all worry about cholesterol and we take from the pharmaceutical side, and that is coming out from my pharmaceutical background, right? That is because they had over 20 years worth of data to suggest that cholesterol can eventually increase your risk of
other things, because it's a key marker.
It's a key marker.
So these key biomarkers
absolutely
are so important.
That's what we mean.
Interesting. Yeah.
So anyway.
But it's a key marker to other things. So and carotenoids are a key marker to antioxidant health and nutritional status. Yeah. Okay.
You got to keep that in mind because that's where we're going to go.
I feel like I probably should have known that.
I hope it's clear, right? Those are the two dots that we'll be connecting today.
Okay. I love that. And so that's why we think it's so important to have a device that can measure your carotenoid score.
That's right.
Because it's an important biomarker.
Up to that point, up to a couple of years ago, all right, we were not able to make that connection, to call it a biomarker. Okay, and here's why. Over the last 20 years, okay, we gathered a lot of data. And what you may or may not know, Kathy, is the fact that while we are getting the overall score, if you would, we call it a scanner score, right, or the skin carotenoid score, 10,000, 50,000, whatever, we actually have some lifestyle sort of elements that we collected too, data.
Right. Okay. So we're like, what's your
BMI?
Your BMI. Okay.
Do you smoke?
Yeah.
What's your diet?
No, I don't smoke.
I know. Things like that. Right?
I answered the question.
Your
diet.
What do you eat?
Where do you live? Right. With pollution.
Yeah, where do you live? Pollution, environment, and stuff like that. So we got a lot of that data. Okay, so that is what we now know, or what we now call the scanner database.
So we've gathered all of that in addition to those scores.
Raman database.
Okay.
You've heard a lot of folks going out when they talk about the Prism, right? And they will say, whoa, this is a what? Truly intelligent wellness device? I think we've been using that slogan quite a bit.
Yeah.
How did it become intelligent?
Right. Yeah.
It cannot become intelligent if we did not have, or we do not have, that Raman scanner database of information.
Because the number by itself doesn't give you enough information.
Artificial intelligence doesn't work if you don't have data.
Right. And if you have too much data, you and I can't process it. And so you need AI to do that. Right.
Think about it. Here's another thing that perhaps you can now appreciate why I'm sort of really excited, because we are unique. We have this database. When you were born, you had a brain, right? I had a brain.
Yeah,
you had a brain.
Still do.
We should have been instantly clever or intelligent. How come? We're not.
No.
What happened? Our parents sent us to school. And we eventually go off to college, whatever it is. What do you think we were doing in school? We were putting data into our brain.
Yeah.
That's how we became intelligent. Even a human cannot become intelligent without data.
Right. Yeah.
So how would you expect a computer, this AI, as we call it, how would you expect that to work if you don't have data?
If there's no data. So it's the 20 years of data that is critical.
It's critical.
And we weren't only gathering scan scores. And that is also critical.
Absolutely.
Is all these pieces together.
And we correlate. What happens? What if you get a certain value on the scanner? How does that correlate to your lifestyle?
To your lifestyle and overall health, right?
And then, therefore, if we look at it, we now know, for example, there is, I shouldn't say, how usually we have an inverse correlation. In other words, when a score is down, all things being equal in a person between two people, all right, except that one has a score lower than the other, that person is not eating well. Could be one causative factor.
Yeah.
Okay. Or that person smokes. These things we know are not good for establishing an optimal nutritional status in the body. It cannot happen.
Yeah.
So we got those correlation,
Yeah.
It's like ChatGPT.
And all that data together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we put it in and we can give you.
Now, while we're talking about scores, we've gotten some questions on scoring.
Yeah.
So now the S3, today's, goes up to 100,000.
100, yeah, that's the scale.
That's the scale. But it's still the red to purple. It's still the same rainbow color, same color scale. And the Prism, we've taken it down to 1,000 instead of 100. 100,000. 10,000?
No. It's going to be about, I think right now as we are planning it, it's going to be about 0 to 1,500.
0 to 1,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about why the scoring system is different. And what does it do? Is it an arbitrary number?
It is an arbitrary unit. In other words, it doesn't have milligrams associated with it.
It's just it
doesn't have
unit,
cc's of carotenoid associated with it. All of us are sort of used to seeing something. But the reason why we didn't put it is because we want to have a scale that is antioxidant related. And we don't want, and we can actually convert that to carotenoids.
Okay.
With an equation that we have.
Okay.
All right. It's connected. It means something. In other words, just because it's arbitrary
doesn't mean
it doesn't mean anything. Okay.
It's arbitrary units, but it's not an arbitrary number.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, and therefore you should look upon it, 60,000 is better antioxidant protection based on the current scanner, the S3, relative to, let's say, 30,000. That's clear, right? And here I'll explain to it. Yes, we are measuring antioxidants, carotenoids, as we have been talking about the last few minutes, right?
Utilizing the AI database.
Correct.
And so that's why this scale is different.
It has to be different.
Than the S3.
Yeah. If we use the same scale, you would have a bit more difficulty seeing that transformation.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's
because we're using all this data.
We're using all this data.
All this data.
It's unique. Nobody has it. This 25 years worth of data.
It's our data.
The scanner database is part and parcel of ours, of our technology. You know? So it's maybe I can give you another analogy, and you can look at this and maybe you can sort of look at this with this backdrop. When all of us look at the pyramids, right? Immediately we sort of start looking at walls and so on, and we start to see little figures being drawn on it, right?
Yeah.
We sort of collectively, those figures are known as hieroglyphics. More than 160 years ago, nobody in the world knew that it was a language.
They just looked like
cartoons,
yeah.
Right? Nobody knew. It was until the discovery, actually Napoleon, while he captured Egypt, he actually recovered a slab of stone that is now known as the Rosetta Stone. And it has hieroglyphics, ancient Greek, and modern Greek. And they were all talking about the same thing. And that's when scholars were able to translate and be able to appreciate that hieroglyphics is the language. Right. And they were able to then understand how the Egyptians were living 5,000 years ago. The antioxidant is sort of like a hieroglyphics in nutritional health here. But now with this database that we have been able to translate that to mean something.
I love that.
And that's
I love that.
Nutritional health.
And we're putting it available to everybody, right? Like you
have it here.
We now have it, right? Which is amazing that we have that. Okay, let's see if we have a couple questions kind of leading on to what you're talking about. Now the questions are coming in. And we explained that because the carotenoid is a biomarker.
Correct.
To all of your antioxidants. Mm-hmm. And in addition, we're also using this score with the carotenoid and all of the lifestyle database.
Yes.
So that's why it's more than just a carotenoid score, is because of the database of information correlated to the carotenoid score. Mm-hmm. Did I explain that right?
Yeah.
Did I understand it? Okay.
More or less, yeah.
I'm trying to redo it to make sure that I understand it too. Okay.
Yeah. If we don't have the database, we would never know that this carotenoid is a biomarker.
Right.
It's connected.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
To the rest of all the other things.
And another question in here is now, how do we increase a score?
Okay. How do you, it's sort of like, that's a sneaky question. Actually, it's not a bad question, right? You need to give a prize to whoever asked that question.
Let's see. Okay, wait, let's see.
By the way,
where is
it's only
my question?
For U.S. If the question came from a U.S.
Okay, so Kimberly, if you will please, so I asked your question in slightly different words. If you will please follow the Made by Nu Skin account and message us that you have now won. What should we give her?
I don't know. What do we give her?
What's your favorite SCS product, Joe?
Oh,
I'm not going to make you pick a favorite.
I'm not going to make me. But since I have my hands on it, Age-Lock Youth.
Okay, Age-Lock Youth for Kimberly. So make sure you follow us on Made by Nu Skin and do that. And now let's talk about, how do you increase that score?
That question comes with actually over time. As I said, some of you may actually be getting that question in the field when we launch Prism and so on. That, people may well critique and say, well, that's a device that Nu Skin invented, developed, and therefore it's only specific for Nu Skin, right? It's like a commercial thing. It has no validity. It's not objective, and so on and so on. Blah, 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 whatever. It's a LifePak detector.
It's the LifePak detector, right? Okay.
We've heard that all before. Well, it's not quite right because, look, we have done studies, and that's why, by the way, there's part and parcel of the Nu Skin ethos, if you will, our DNA. We do scientific and clinical studies. And now maybe you can appreciate the value of those studies. And that is, we have done a study where we have taken groups of people, folks who have eaten no fruits and vegetables in their diet, one portion of fruits and vegetables, and all the way up to about 7 servings of fruits and vegetables. Okay. And we measure all of them with the previous scanner. All right. And you see a gradual increase in the scanner score What does that mean?
That eating fruits and vegetables will increase your score.
Nobody would argue, right? That actually currently right now as it is, NIH, the National Institutes of Health, recommends that all of us should be eating about 6 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables.
And I do not eat 6 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables every day.
There you go.
And I feel like I eat pretty healthy.
Exactly.
And guys, iceberg lettuce doesn't count as one of those servings.
Potato doesn't count too, by the
way. and the more variety in your color and all these things, right?
Gold color.
And don't take away my potatoes.
I know. No, nobody's taking anybody anything. You're not replacing. You are actually supplementing.
Supplementing, you're right.
Remember, that's what we are doing. So, and therefore the thing is sort of like, we got to prove. It's validated. This device actually should help to open your eyes to better nutrition.
Right.
And on the scientific side and on the validation side, we have actually now connected it because of our database.
And I think another thing that I hear, and there's a question in here somewhere, but I think it's also from Kimberly and Charity One the Youth, is, I'm taking a supplement. Why didn't it change it? Well, we've also made sure that the supplements that we're creating have this biomarker, because we know it's an important biomarker, right?
Yes.
And maybe not everything has the same levels of carotenoids or other things, because not all supplements are created the same. That doesn't mean another supplement won't impact your score.
No.
But we know what impacts the score, so we're building supplements to increase, not because we want to increase your score, we want to increase your health, right? And we know that that's a biomarker.
Yeah. And indirectly, some of the supplements could do it if indeed it's working, as a nutritional product and so on. It should indirectly help on that front too.
Right.
So, yeah.
I hope Alexandra is in the US, because if you are, we have a prize for you, and we're going to give you a box of collagen. Let's do peach collagen for you. She said, what about individuals who have absorption deficiencies? I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk about diseases, but people absorb things differently. So let's just talk about absorption. Not everybody's scanner score is going to increase the same, even if you and I are both taking the same amount of LifePak, are we guaranteed to have the same absorption rate and increase?
No, there would be some other factors that could but I'll stick with absorption.
Okay.
We're all going to have a slightly different absorption rate. But look, all right, frankly, here, I think I'll state it, all right? It's not a competition. Just because I have 60,000, I'll talk about the scale later, or maybe we have spoken about, I'll still stick with the current scanner scale, okay? 60,000 and you have 50,000, it's not that you're better than me. 50,000 from our scientific studies, it's a range. If you don't believe me, when you go for your physical with your doctor, what does he tell you when he's finished looking at your blood test? You're within range. You're within normal range. So it's never, ever an absolute number.
Okay.
Okay, remember that. So we are just saying, if you're in the blue range, great. And obviously with this particular one, it comes out, you got 3 shades of blue and then 3 shades of green and so on, all the way to purple. So think about it as if that get into that range.
Okay.
I used to say get into the blue zone. It's still the same thing.
We want to be in the zone or in the range, because that's going to be, and it hurts my soul to say that it's not a competition of what scan scores are.
I know.
I'm entirely too competitive to handle this.
We are. And unfortunately, in a way, our human mind works that way. Once we get a number, we compete.
Yeah, I know. It's not just me. Okay, Mallory, I know you're in the US, so we're going to give Mallory G3. So again, follow Made by New Skin, send us a DM. She said, is the new scanner going to be more precise?
Yes, the new device is good. The technology that we use in this particular device is different from the one that we use in the S3, if you will. And maybe I can also expand on that answer a little bit. So we have all the readings that we have taken with the device. We have in our scientific studies correlated it with blood sort of measurements. All right. And the reason, and you say, see, why blood? Because at this point of our knowledge and chemistry and so on, universally, the blood test for carotenoids is accepted as the gold standard.
Okay.
All right. So essentially, it's our ruler.
Okay. The blood test.
Yeah, the blood test. So all the numbers, all the values and measurements we take with the particular scanner, we can reference and grade it against that particular ruler, you know, and it's been pretty good. If you will, what we see on the skin is actually what's happening in the blood too.
I love that. Yes. And the database and all these things technology allows us to get better and better and better at this, not just to get smaller in a device, but also to get better results. You see a little bit of variation or margin of error. Yeah. Everything that we measure comes with a margin of error. So, but it's a small one. Yeah. And I don't think anyone asked this question, but maybe if they did, then you guys can help me out if someone did. But this is a question that I have is, how often should we scan? Now, the old scanner made it to where really most people were scanning every 30, 60, or 90 days because you had to kind of go somewhere to do it. So what is your kind of goal for how often people are scanning? Like, I'm a numbers girl. I love my watch. I love my ring. I want to know everything going on in my body. I love knowing my daily temperature. I love it. Yeah. So if I'm scanning every day, I'm going to see a little bit of variance, but do I need to scan every day, every week? How often are you going to scan, Joe?
I've done it. When I started, this is actually it's a great question. I've never been asked this before, but from the beginning, when you're first starting to measure yourself, you should be measuring every day.
Okay. All right. So that you can kind of see your own ebbs and flows and your own range.
Trend.
Okay. Your own trend.
Yeah. Okay. And then after a month or two, when you've done that and so on, because look, it's very easy, right? 20 seconds.
Right.
It's not going to take a whole bunch of time out of your life.
So you recommend that we scan every day when we first get our Prism. Okay.
And try to do it around the same time of the day.
Okay.
You can either do it
morning, night, whatever, right? Okay.
Same time of the day. Then you can eliminate that particular variation or variable. So do that, and then after a while, you soon start to know. And after
then you
that,
just check.
You can say maybe
weekly.
It goes to weekly, and then eventually, most folks will start going down to about once a month or once every 2 weeks.
It's funny that I ask you that, because this is exactly how I would handle a scale, checking my blood pressure, checking, as I watch my sleep score and things. That's exactly how I do it. Is how does my body trend? And then what's my regular checking to be sure that my health is in the right direction. Joe, here is a really, really good question. How do you continue to look so young? Because someone said they saw you 15 years ago and that you still look just as young. It's the product.
Well, first of all, thank you.
I'm offended that it wasn't me that they asked how I continue looking so young, but we're just going to let that one slide and let it be that, you continue looking young.
I'm hoping that gives you an idea that the products that we develop, I do believe that they will deliver a benefit for you. Right. So, it's sort of, obviously, I'm sort of the guinea pig for most of our products anyway. So
it's what we do. It's why we work here.
Right. That's why we work here, right? So, it's really part of that. And obviously that has guided me by looking in this particular area of health, is they say, look, good nutrition will translate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we already answered this one. Which supplements will have the greatest impact towards improving a score? So, Crystal, if you are in the United States, you know what to do. Crystal is going to get, let's give Crystal a regular box of let's give her the LifePak Nano. We haven't given away the Nano, have we?
That's the answer.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the answer.
Great choice. Yes.
So we'll give her the box of Nano. Now, Nano is going to it has the highest correlation to improving your score.
Absolutely.
And it's an SCS higher certified product, right?
Yeah. You may not know this. It's a subtle one, but we have sort of put out a message that our LifePak Nano or the family of LifePak, they are all products meant to address nutritional deficiencies.
Right.
It's very nutrition related.
Well, and now when people say that the Prism is a LifePak detector, this doesn't just have carotenoids in it.
No.
It has vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients. Nano has omegas and carotenoids, right?
You see, sort of in a way, psychologically, I've just gotten you to appreciate LifePak more.
I do appreciate it more.
Right? So, but for the new person, Kathy, right?
Yeah, I've been here a while, guys.
Oh, by the way, you have all the other stuff too. Yes. And that's part of the business, if you will, we are in, is the fact that how do you know your supplements work? How do you know what's in your supplement?
Right. Well, you said it at the beginning. I mean, we pride ourselves on clinically studying our stuff, on the success process. Like I will tell you right now, what our scientists say are in these products are in these products. Yeah. Like we can stand behind it. But if all we cared about was a Prism score, LifePak Nano, LifePak, they wouldn't have multiple ingredients in them. They would only have beta carotene or a carotenoid in them.
Absolutely. And then that would be something that will go against our, our claim.
Right. Our claims, our mission, like who we are, like improving people's health overall. And that. So I love that. Now, there's some unique products here that, are scanner certified, but aren't necessarily overall health and well-being.
Yes.
So you have a product like Mindful. If I just looked at this, I wouldn't have realized, I mean, I know this, so I'm acting like I don't know that this is scanner certified. But you wouldn't buy this necessarily because you think it's scanner certified. You're buying this for a specific need.
Yes.
It just happens to have an ingredient that hits that biomarker? Or how does that work?
Put the ingredients aside.
Okay.
The Mind 360, that whole line is focused on what? Brain health.
Brain health, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? That's the overall general claim that we have with Mind 360. So why did we decide to go down here? It's not that let's just shove some carotenoids in there. We discovered, or at least not us, just alone, but the science has discovered that the brain is very active. And the brain consumes a lot of oxygen. We all know that, right? If you deprive your brain of oxygen for 10, 15 minutes, it's dead. So, but during that consumption of oxygen, it produces a lot of free radicals. It damages the brain. So we know antioxidants are very important in the brain. And other investigators or scientists have discovered it actually, if you have more carotenoids and you intake, you can actually protect your brain. That's why we came up with Mind 360.
And this one happens to have a guarantee for a scan score.
Yes. And that's how you can monitor.
Which I love. Now,
what's happening?
I want to really hit on the guarantee for 1 second. No one asked this question, but we have had a scanner guarantee for probably 20 years since we launched the scanner.
Since we launched the scanner.
Do you think, this is my question to you, do you think it would be a good business decision to guarantee that your products work for 20 years if people were returning those products because they didn't see an increase in their score? This is a trick question.
No, I think we would have to build a new.
We would have gotten rid of it.
Build a new warehouse.
Yeah, well,
for all the return products.
We just simply, if people were returning them, we would have gotten rid of that guarantee after a year. There's not a company that is like caring about that. But we have had this guarantee.
Yes, and we have
on these products, and we continue to add products to our guarantee.
Yeah. portfolio.
Because
it's
we
amazing.
know that they will increase your scan score. And we don't care what someone's scan score is, other than the fact that it relates to nutritional health as a biomarker.
Yeah.
We want to improve people's lives. So that if you think about the guarantee, all those pieces fit together so well. Because we know that the products we're making are going to increase that score. And we know that as you increase your score, your health is better. Your health markers are increased. Okay. Can LifePak Nano be okay, Pamela, if you're in the US, you know what to do. Can LifePak Nano be taken with youth and meta? And then how would that impact a scan result? So can you layer these products?
Oh, yeah. I do.
I do too. I know. I'm like, I sure hope so, Pamela, because I take these.
I take all three. Yeah. So, yeah, you can. And our approach, if you will, because we know we have many of these products in our portfolio, right, in our product line. And we also recognize the fact that many of you could be taking many of the products at the same time.
Right.
So we already know, in general, for all intents and purposes, these products, when you're consumed together, they're entirely safe and effective.
Now, you wouldn't necessarily need to take Nano and LifePak together because they're in a growing family.
That makes sense, yeah.
But you can and you don't need to take strawberry and peach collagen together, for instance. But so if they're the same family, you don't need to. But other than that, you can layer all of these products. And the more SCS products you take, the higher chance you have of your scanner score increasing because you're adding those supplements, right?
Absolutely.
What's your mix, Joe? Which ones do you take? Can I ask you that?
Well, I told you about youth, right?
I take youth as well.
And the box that we have given away, the LifePak Nano.
Nano, okay.
Then I actually take the new Biome too. Do you
that one's not SCS certified, but we do.
Biome.
I do love new Biome.
New Biome as well.
You do collagen? I'm putting you on the spot right now.
On this one
what's just your favorite collagen?
My favorite collagen is a strawberry.
I'm a peach girl.
You're a peach girl.
I'm a peach girl.
Yeah.
And then I've just recently started adding in M Smart, and I take Mindful every day just for my own personal, but I don't do eye formula. I probably should. Maybe I should, but you can't take all of them. But I do take a good amount. I do take a good amount. Okay. I'm not going to ask that one. We already asked that one. How closely is the Prism IO? Well, let's see. This is William B. If you're in the US, you get the Mindful that we were just talking about, linked to Pharmanex. So is the Prism IO's app linked to Pharmanex products? And is there a risk that if we sell to competitors, that they'll sell their own products? I mean,
it's great.
People are gonna sell whatever products they want.
I mean, for you guys out there, I mean, if they take it, it's great. Remember, we were a force for good, right?
Yeah.
We help everybody. All the rising tide and all that stuff. I mean, it's the reality. Just like I've already mentioned, fruits and vegetables. There may be a competitor out there that has a product that will actually register on the Prism. That's great. Yeah. Eventually, gives you an opportunity to say, that's great, but how about this LifePak?
Yeah.
It has this, and other things too.
Right. And we can't be scared of competitors. And a healthy lifestyle should increase your score.
Yeah.
Like eating fruits and vegetables, taking any supplements should increase your score, but there are going to be supplements out there that don't have the carotenoids in it that wouldn't increase your score. So even if someone is taking another product and they're like, no, I'm healthy.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that your score is going to be increased. There's someone on here, and Anna Blanca, I might need you guys to look at the thing because I'm going to ask their question, but I don't know where they are. So I'm not going to call out their name. So I'm sorry, but whoever you are, you're going to know who you are. Can people of any age be in anywhere from red to purple ranges? Like let's say a kid or, like someone in their teens, 20s, up to their 80s, can anyone's score be kind of that whole range? Or do we see that as you get older or if you're younger that you sit in a certain range?
It's very much related to the nutrition.
It's fully related to nutrition. So you can be scanning any age.
None of it insofar as whether they are absorbing correctly and so on. But in general, you can always seem to trace it back to their nutritional diet. Yeah.
Okay.
And so on.
I love that. Okay, let's see. There's so many questions in here. If you guys see questions that I should ask, you gotta throw them to me, because there are so many questions flying, and I love it. And I'm having such a good time talking to you, Joe, and I'm trying to manage this. And then people on the chat are reaming me a new one because I don't take iFormula. So it's like I'm getting like yelled at and trying to ask questions while doing this.
It's hard.
It is hard. Thank you. Okay. So if someone, okay, hold on. Can you reach maximum absorption is what Melinda Russell just asked. I don't know exactly what that means, but we're going to go with that on
each and every one of us.
Each and every one of us has
like
a different absorption,
will find
right?
its own level.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Each one of us, my maximum would be different from yours, and so on and so forth, because there are other factors involved.
So it's not like you need to do anything specific to have maximum absorption.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's say, I know with vitamins and minerals, this is Kathy going back to college. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I was pre-med for 2 whole years. So we're going to go back to college, and use this. So when I'm thinking about absorption, something like a water-soluble vitamin, if you're taking it twice a day, you're going to absorb it better than if you're taking it once a day, and then your body's going to get rid of what you don't need, right?
You're very
good.
Yeah.
Right, you guys.
That's Kathy.
Give me some happiness here. But so yes, if you want absorption rates, it's not necessarily take all your supplements at once. Maybe it could be taking them throughout the day.
Yeah.
So if you're taking your LifePak Nano morning and night, if you're drinking your M Smart or your G3 with your meals during the day, like if you're spreading it out, then maybe you'll have better absorption of some of these, because carotenoids are water soluble. No, it's beta carotene. It's fat soluble.
They're all fat.
Do you need then to take these products with food, or does that matter? Now I'm getting into look at me pulling in college classes.
To answer the question, yes and no. Yes, you should take it with food if you're particularly your GI tract is sensitive.
Okay, that's when it's the most important. I can take supplements without food, but I cannot take LifePak without food.
There you go.
So I don't know what I'm sensitive to, but I can do almost everything else.
Some magnesium in
without
it.
It.
Some people are well sensitive to that, so you should take it with food.
Oh, This one is going to be a really, really hard question from Jennifer. And I think Jennifer might have already won. Did Jennifer already win? If not, Jennifer, this one's for you, girl. And we'll give you the M Smart. If you could only pick one, this is a would you rather. If you can only pick one, Youth or LifePak Nano. You're eating a healthy diet.
Jennifer, you're almost asking me to say which of my 2 sons I should pick as my favorite.
You do have a favorite son. No, I don't know if you do or not.
I don't.
I'm just kidding.
My wife might have, but me, I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into that discussion insofar as which son is better. Because he's doing better in school, therefore he's your favorite. No, whatever. But the thing is, seriously, back to Youth versus LifePak. I take both, and that one of the reasons for it is because those 2 products are developed for different purposes. Okay. I already mentioned LifePak is for nutritional deficiencies, and Youth was developed to really address the aging process in the body systemically. So isn't it good? Stay young, eat better. You have the perfect combination. So
and even if you're eating healthy, it would be really hard to get everything that's in LifePak. It's impossible to get everything in Youth.
Impossible. It's time and time again studies. There was a study, I recall, about 76,000 people in the US, for example. Not a single one could they find, the scientists, when they look at it, could they find that they could satisfy all the RDAs.
Yeah.
The recommended daily allowance.
Right, yeah.
Not a single person.
Well, that would be very hard.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Right.
G3 is approved for children.
Yes.
Somebody just asked about helping it with children. So G3 kids can take. And then we have Junglemals, which I don't have here, but that's okay. because you're all adults listening to this webinar. So those are the 2 products that we have that are appropriate for children to take. G3.
I use G3 to take my supplements.
Oh, you just sit down.
Yeah.
Just like this, or do you pour it in a glass? Let's talk about it. Yeah. No, Instead of water.
I have no the pouches. I just suck on a pouch.
That's awesome. You just, okay. That's a good way to stack your habits. Okay. So, Andrea did say most people have to make choices because of money constraints. Yeah, and so again, like you said, one is for overall health and one is for anti-aging. Yes. So you would look at then, instead of picking a favorite, you would say, which area am I more concerned with personally? Yeah. Is it that I'm trying, is it the aging factors that I'm looking at, or is it overall general health? Right. I will tell you guys right now, and my children do know that I have favorites out of the 4 of them. I do. I 100% have a favorite child. You know who you are. Youth is a product I will never go a day without taking. I will never go a day without taking youth. I personally feel so much different on youth that, occasionally if I run out of a product, then I spend a couple days and then I get it back at my house, but I will not go a day without taking youth. Actually, youth is my favorite product that you have brought to us.
Great point. Actually, now we might be a bit related to your age.
Uh-oh.
Because
you guys, is Joe calling me old or young?
No.
Old or young? Put it in the chat. Okay, so young. He said young.
Time to sort of address your aging process.
Right. Yeah.
Compared to a person that's like 60, 70 year older,
Right.
So they would be veering a little bit more towards
overall,
they're not eating as good.
I like that. Yeah.
So, it all depends.
Yeah. I mean, again, you look at each of these products and you say, what is your primary need? Yeah. But we have formulated them for a primary need, not just for carotenoids and scan scores. So take products based on what your need is.
Good point. Yeah.
I think that is really important. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I have one more question. I'm not going to ask that one because that one will require us to make claims. Sorry. There's a lot of questions in here about business, and we're not going to go into the recruiting and business side because, Joe and I could do that, but I think that's an episode for another one. We're going to stick with the science and product side. So I'm not just ignoring those questions, but just so you guys know, while I have Joe here, I'm really going to focus on the science, these questions.
I will leave you one so-called elevator comment.
Okay, give us the elevator pitch.
This is related, you remember? From the get-go, I mentioned, now we're not talking about antioxidants so much. We're more about nutritional status, right? Or nutritional health. So let's assume this scenario. You walk into the elevator. There's a stranger there. That's Kathy. And I go towards her and say, hey, hi. We have this device that can actually measure antioxidants. Now, assume Kathy doesn't know a single thing about new skin, nothing about scanner, nothing about anything, right? So I say, would you like to learn about your antioxidant status? What do you think the first reaction would be? I suspect the first reaction, what is an antioxidant?
Right, yeah. What is an antioxidant? What if they even led with carotenoids?
Now, you see, now you've got yourself onto a steep curve or steep hill to climb with that individual, with that stranger, right? However, if you flip the question to, hey, Kathy, we've got this technology and device, and it can actually help you to understand your nutritional status or nutritional health better.
And then you tie them back to how nutrition is tied to antioxidants and carotenoids like you taught us. I love that.
You see?
I love that.
Within that, I can almost guarantee in the sense that, I'm a scientist. I obviously don't know antioxidants. It took me 20 years to educate everybody.
Yeah.
Why the value of antioxidants? But if you flip the question that way, I'm very confident that you'll be able to talk to that person.
Right. About their nutritional health. Yeah. And everybody knows about supplementation.
Yes.
Like that's an easy piece at the end of this conversation. Yeah. Because anytime that you ask someone, and again, I hope that everyone listens to this, who is part of the Nu Skin business, understands, like, yes, we want the Prism score tied to selling products, because we know that our products will help you improve your health and your life. But don't for a second think that exercising, eating right, sleeping isn't a part of this equation. That is a huge part of this equation. Is eating healthy is so important, and it should increase your score. You know,
Absolutely.
and so don't be to somebody you don't need to eat healthy. Like that's all part of this. And the last question on here is that somebody said, will, where is it? Okay. Does our gut drink, you talked about Nu Biome.
Yes.
And I love Nu Biome as well. Does like drinking the Nu Biome and helping your microbiome help with absorption?
I think so.
We don't have any science that says that, but that is where stuff is.
That's where that's how you keep your gut healthy. And what is one of the healthy elements of what was it, the feature of one of a healthy gut? Absorption.
Right.
That's why your gut is there for. It's all food.
It should be a side effect of it, but we haven't necessarily studied that you have that. So I love that. You guys, there are so many questions in here. This episode is going to be aired on Spotify and YouTube and Apple. We're glad. It was fun to do live. Joe, thanks for joining me for my first live podcast.
It's great. It is really great, Kathy. I mean, and she didn't warn me, okay? So
I didn't tell Joe that it was going to be live. He thought we were just recording a podcast. So but I knew you could handle a live recording. I wasn't worried about spinning questions at you. And people were nice to you, saying how young you looked. People were judging me for not taking eye formula. And that's okay, you guys. I still love all of you so much. But again, you guys, we're going to put clips of this, send this episode to people, watch it again, because there's a lot of things that, Joe, that you talked about that I think like all educational things, it's going to take a few times through for people to really understand carotenoids and antioxidants and how the scanner works. So watch it again, give us your comments, and we'll do everything that we can to maybe do a follow-up episode or answer those questions on the Made by Nu Skin. We'll, gladly do some Q&As and get that. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.